Three Great Angels is one of my favorite decks in the Digimon card game, and we got a couple new cards, so I wanted to go over Three Great Angels once again. So we're starting off with Cupimon. Cupimon is just a great egg, being able to set up your security stack to then work off the Magna Angemon, the blue-yellow one, is just vital. Setting up your security stack is vital, and that as a 4 of works great. Then we're doing 4 of the SR Patamon, arguably one of the best rookies in the entire game. Good card. Then we go with the new promo Patamon. Start a main phase if you have 4 or less memory, which typically we will always have less than 4 or less memory. This Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the Angel or TS trait in hand without paying the cost. We're going to go with all Angels in the level 4s, so this will always hit if we have Angel in hand or level 4 in hand. This is just second best to this Patamon. Just really good new promo at a 3 of, and we have 4 of the Searcher Luxmon. We're trying to ensure as much consistency as possible in the deck, and this card being able to potentially get 1 or 2, a maximum of 2 cards is really helpful. So we're going with a total of 11 rookies. Some may push for 10 rookies or even less, but as for me, just play testing the deck, I found 11 to be where I'm most comfortable. Then we're going with 4 of the Secret Angemon. This just has such high flexibility. Being a secret rare from BT23 is just a very versatile card, being able to, when attacking, minus 5k. When attacking, you can place one of your opponent's Digimon with the virus trait at the bottom of their security stack. Can come up. A lot of decks are purple. Just throughout Digimon history, some of the best decks are purple, and most of the time those decks have the virus trait, so that can come up. And then on deletion, being able to put the Digimon at the bottom of the security card, healing your security is very good. It's just a versatile card that it warrants 4 of in the deck. And then we have 4 of the new BT23 Angemon. Why do we run this card? Unfortunately, this card was such a great card for a long history of this deck. However, we're going with the Angemon, full slate of Angemons for our level 4s to be able to hit off of this new promo Patamon. And what this card has is Barrier on face and Barrier inherit, just like this Gatomon, but unfortunately, Patamon would not be able to digivolve off of Gatomon through its start of main phase effect. Being able to digivolve for free, it wouldn't work on this Gatomon because Gatomon is not an angel. So we want to run 8 of these angels. And being able to, when digivolving, draw 1 is just very good. Because we have 7 of these Patamons, we are most likely digivolving for 2. The only thing is that with the Luxmon, we would be digivolving for 3 because it's digivolving off of Luxmon, which is unfortunate. Gatomon would be able to digivolve for 2, but being able to now be more consistent with the overall deck, I believe that going with the full slate of Angemon is best. And it's just unfortunate when you do digivolve off of Luxmon, but the 1 extra memory cost to get more consistency overall, I think is worth it. So we're going, again, full slate of Angemons here. 8 of these Digimon, just through play testing, 8 works. 8 works for me, so we're going with 8 there. Next, we go into our level 5s. We're going with 4 of the BT23 Magna Angemon, whether on play or when digivolving, being able to search your security stack, digivolving into level 6 Digimon with the Angel or 3 Great Angel trait or the Archangel trait, just is very strong. So we're going, again, 4 for those. We're going 4 of the Angelwoman Ace, being able to play it out, and because when a card is removed from my security stack, If you have 3 or fewer security cards, recover 1 all turns. It's just a good healer for the deck. And we are going with 3 of the Magna Angemon Aces. I see this card being the most likely card to not be run. I've seen the new Shikuamon be run instead. I've seen some of the other new Magna Angemons, like the starter deck Magna Angemon or other cards. But the way I like to play 3-gate Angels is being always to have the ace opportunity. So if I have one of my level 4s out, having the ace opportunity here to go Magna Angemon Ace, being able to increase my aces to 7 is where I like it for my deck for 3-gate Angels. But of course, this is up to preference. Any playstyle of 3-gate Angels using some of the new cards. I think the new Shikuamon is a good inclusion in the deck. But because it cannot be 4-cost dropped and because it doesn't have the ace, I think that's where this Magna Angemon shines. And I believe the Magna Angemon Ace shines very well early game because you could turn 1, hit the Magna Angemon Ace, and then being able to go into your Digimon can be very good and strong. In turn 1, you don't really want to drop the Angelwoman Ace because you're going to have 5 security and you wouldn't be able to get the full value out of the Angelwoman Ace for a 4-cost drop. And the Magna Angemon first turn, you wouldn't be able to, 1, understand what's in your security. So this could be just blind Magna Angemon, which isn't very good. Just going blind, dropping 6 for it, it's such a high memory cost. Being able to drop it for 4 turn 1, it will likely survive. That's not a guarantee, but you really got to see what deck your opponent is playing to really determine if it's worth dropping turn 1. But if you determine that, it most likely would survive, it's not a bad play. Turn 1, dropping Magna Angemon Ace, and then the next turn, digivolving into Domini. Domini will then search your security card, play out potentially level 5 or lower. So for that reason, I like to go with Magna Angemon Ace. Another reason with Cherubimon, Cherubimon plays out a level 4, and then again, I want the aces in hand to go to my aces. So I like a very high ace count for this deck in particular. The overflow is something that you are going to have to deal with any deck that runs aces, and it can be tricky, and it is definitely one of the things that I think holds the deck back with so much D-Digivolve in the format. D-Digivolve is just one of the strongest soft removals in the game that you're always going to deal with, but this is how I prefer to run the Angels list. So I'm going with Magna Angemon Ace just because of its early utility, and just being able to always recover 1 is good, especially in a jam. While there are conditions to get the full value, you have to have 3 or fewer. If you're at 4 or more, this Magna Angemon Ace shines, but when you're at 3 or fewer, dropping the Angelwoman Ace shines vastly more. But again, Magna Angemon Ace, early game, I think has high value, and I warrant the inclusion of Magna Angemon Ace. Going into the level 6s, we have 4 of the Digimon. It makes the entire deck work, being able to protect all your angels, archangels, and 3-great angels. If you have 6 of these angels on the field and your opponent board wipes the entire board through 1 effect, you only have to trash 1 security to keep all your angels alive. So again, it is the glue that brings this whole deck together. We're going into 4 of the Cherubimon Ace. Its ace impact is very high in this deck. When your opponent swings, you ace into Cherubimon Ace. It plays out a body and then -4Ks them for every body that you have. Is very strong. Just a good card, and we're maximizing our Cherubimon Aces, and we run a Shadow Seraphimon Ace, being able to de-Digivolve 3, has blocker, and also when attack target changes, such as blocking, minus 5k. Having the utility of that card, the reason I don't run Shadow Seraphimon Ace in any higher of a count is because I don't, most of the time, it's good for certain matchups being able to de-Digivolve 3, but I found Cherubimon Ace to be just the majority of the time being a stronger card. That's why I'm maximizing the Cherubimon Aces, but it definitely has its utility, and when you need it, having this in hand is just great to have. So we're just going one Shadow Seraphimon Ace. And for level 7s, we are including 2 of the Chaosmon Valder Arm, being able to DNA Digivolve into a yellow card, typically the mini, and a black or green card, being the DNA. The Digimon you have to DNA into is very good, and Valder Arm is a great card, being able to then DNA, and then have Sec +1, and then swing again. Typically, what happens is Diminimon, Cherubimon out here, you swing 2 checks, then you DNA into Valder Arm, swing 2 checks, you get 2 memory because you have 2 level 6s under, and stunning on play effects. It is a good game-ending card. It wins you games a turn earlier, and that's why it warrants 2 of in the deck. I think it's a very good card in this deck, and I find it to win you games a turn earlier. So for that reason, I believe it warrants inclusion in the deck. One card I did consider is the new BT23 Mastamon. Being when Digivolving, you may play 1 level 5 or lower yellow or purple card from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then if this Digimon stack has 2 or more same level cards, trash the top card of both players' security stacks, so they have 3 cards left. So in this Angels list, and there are other ways you can find using the Mastamon, such as utilizing, for example, the Shikuamon. If you have 2 Angels, Digivolve into a Shikuamon, and then go into, Shikuamon and then Digivolving into Mastamon, you have your 2 same level cards under to activate the second portion of the when Digivolving effect. Theoretically, you could use Angelwomon X over the Angelwomon Ace to have that. However, I find it that it's going to be very hard to proc the second effect, so you're already losing some of the value off of Mastamon. Being able to play level 5 or lower is good. And then the all turns, what really shines about this card is when security stacks are removed from, you may place 1 Digimon as the bottom security card. So let's say if you have a Diminimon out and Mastamon out, they try to delete your Digimon, you trash your security to keep Diminimon or whatever angel alive, and then Mastamon would proc saying, oh, well, a security card was removed on my side, now I'm going to remove 1 of your Digimon. That's really good. However, I found myself only including Mastamon as 1, maybe getting rid of 1 of my Cherubimon Aces and including Mastamon. But the thing about one-ofs is that you are hardly going to find it, and I very much believe consistency to be king. So I find having a full slate of Cherubimons to be better. I could get rid of a Shadow Seraphimon Ace, but this is, I mean, they're both searchable in the deck, but I find having the utility of 1 Shadow Seraphimon Ace, regardless, is very strong. I could get rid of a Valder Arm, I could get rid of Magna Angemon Ace, but this dilutes one of my cards, right? And all this for a 1-of, and typically I'm gonna want to have Domini, Cherubi, the real You know, it's not an OTK, but how to get maximum aggression out of your deck is to, and if you have Cherubimon Ace, you probably played a level 4, right? So swing, 2 checks, swing, 3 checks, or 2 checks, 3 checks, DNA into the Volder arm, swing, 2 more checks. There's a lot of value you're getting out of having. You always want to have Domini on board, so Mastamon would be your secondary level 6, and then I would not be able to DNA into Volder arm because it needs either a green or black source, and here I only have 2 yellows. If I had Domini, Master, Cherubi, then I could DNA, but that's kind of asking for a lot to have 3 level 6 Digimon on the board. You're probably already winning at that point. The value of Mastamon is even further removal, but rather than aggression. And I think trying to win the game with Cherubimon Ace and Volder Arm is just something I value a bit more. I think it's very cool, and I wanted to make it work, but I just couldn't find the use out of it. You could just go high, and this is me trying to include it as a one of. You can include it as multiples, right? But then once you're going into multiples, you're changing how the deck works, and that's not where I want to take 3 Great Angels. Personally, I do like the Ace playstyle, always making your opponent guess or rather anticipate an Ace threat is how I like to play the game. Mastamon would be a little bit more of a defensive play style rather than trying to push for the game, at least how I see it, right? Because I think the value of going to Cherubimon is just so high that I really want to have 4 of in the deck. So I've thought about this card a lot, and I just don't see it for myself, but I do definitely consider versions of the Mastamon with 3 Great Angels to be valid. Is just not for me. To continue on, we're going with the Tamers. We're going 3 of the TKs. We're going with, and that's all the Tamers we're running in the deck. 4 of the Yellow Memory Boost, and finally 2 of the Yellow Scrambles. So 4 TKs, I've thought about, right, maybe instead of a boost, having a TK. But I find 3 to be work. The 3 ratio, I find it to be, you're probably going to see 1, and I'm okay with that. I really just want to see 1. Once you get 2 TKs, you know, you really want it because it sets your memory to 3. Being able to search your security stack, reveal 1 card among it, add it to your hand. If it's a yellow card, recovery +1. Having that effect is a great effect, to be honest. And having multiples out does get you value. You know, if you have 1 TK and playing another TK just to be able to search your security stack, get a piece, and then potentially proccing Angelwomon Ace to recover you 1 if you're low on security, or potentially gaining you a memory through Patamon is great value. But I personally don't need to see multiple. So 3, it gives me a high likelihood of having 1 in the game, and that's all I really need. I don't really need 2. If it comes to it, I'll take the second one for the value, but I only need to see 1. Yellow Memory Boost is so vital at 4. I've considered having a 5th boost through one of the dual memory boosts, but I've held back on that. I think 4 memory boosts is pretty important, especially in the early game. Early game, you definitely want to see 1 rookie, ideally 1 of your Patamons. Most likely this one's the best, but this is second best here. And being able to yellow memory boost, being able to search your pieces, finding Dominimon, another piece that you might want to see is this Magna Angemon, and then being able to utilize 2 memory next turn. And if your opponent, let's say, sets you up at 1 memory and you have this Patamon out, Patamon goes up, goes into this, gains you a memory. Now you're at 2 memory. Proc or use the boost. Now you're at 4 memory. You could potentially hard drop Magna Angemon Ace. Now 4. Recover you at 1. 1 additional security. You're at 6 security. Then Dimini. I just find the yellow memory boost to it really makes the math work most of the times for your deck, and that's one play, right? But instead, let's say you got Luxmon, then you bring out Angemon, right? This isn't really the idealist combo, right? Either of these Angemons, Luxmon, Angemon, but you had a boost out. They put you to 1 memory. You could Digivolve for 3, Digivolve for 3 into any of your level 5s here. And you keep turn because you have that boost turn 1, and then being able to go into your Dimini, hopefully. And because you played Memory Boost in the beginning, you'll be able to search and hopefully find the Dimini. I think the boost at 4 just really works for the deck. I wouldn't run any less. It's just so essential for your first turn to have. It's not essential. It's really key to have one of these at first turn, because this also automatically puts you at 3. That's what I really want to see first turn. Give me a Pata, or I'll take any rookie and either the TK or the yellow memory boost. Having that first turn sets me up to 3 my second turn, which really lets the ball roll, even in a bad circumstance where you have Luxmon, Angemon. I just find it that this is where it works best. 3 of the TK and 4 yellow memory boosts. And yellow scramble is really just to make the math work again, because you'll likely have 3 memory, either because you used a boost or you have this TK out. And then you're in a situation where you had a Dimini. Dimini plays out at level 5. Let's say Magna Angemon Ace. And then it's your turn, and you hopefully have one of these out. You get to 3 memory. And now you really want to push forward. You use a yellow scramble to go into your Cherubimon Ace. And really, this is why, for me, I'm running the yellow scramble to make the math work for going into Cherubimon Ace. You have 3 memory, use the yellow scramble, go into Cherubimon Ace, play out Angemon, swing. You would likely go swing 2 checks, and then you may swing with Diminimon if he has barrier, which thanks to this Angemon, you may. Swing with Diminimon, that's 3 checks. DNA into Boulder Arm, 2 checks. Now you stun their arm plays. And this only works if you have the yellow scramble to make that, again, math work. I think you can reliably get 3 memory, and with 3 memory, the yellow scramble makes the math work. Yellow scramble just has, as many of you may know, just has a lot of utility. If you get board wiped, that's pretty bad, especially in a Dimini list. But if you do get board wipe, which definitely happens, you can come back with the yellow scramble, and then being able to instead just grab a piece back from trash, your Dimini, Cherubi, or whatever card that you may need. It's just very strong. Yellow scrambles just have so much utility, and it makes the math work. The one thing I am considering is potentially having an Emissary of Hope instead of yellow scramble, because Emissary of Hope is just a game-changing card in the right situation, such as with being able to go into your Cherubi Ace or anything. Is very similar to HPD, Hidden Potential Discovered. It just completely changes the game, and it's hard for your opponent to calculate for this card. Emissary of Hope is just such a good card, and I really want to make it work. I've gone 2 yellow scrambles just for the reliability. One-ofs, again, are a bit unreliable to find, but having 2 of yellow scrambles increases my reliability to find the yellow scramble. Um, I'm 50-50 on this. Emissary of Hope is really good. But at least right now I'm running 2 of the yellow scrambles, and that's the list. And again, some cards I considered, as I already mentioned, Mastamon, Emissary of Hope. I think going into this Angemon is better than going into this Gatomon. I mean, it's still a valid card. It's an SR. Being able to get you a memory back. Patamon to Gatomon gains you 2 memories. Just crazy, but we're looking for consistency, and Angemon is that consistency piece, having barrier on both ends, being Angel. I think it works out better. And then another card. As a searcher, I definitely rather have Luxmon, in my opinion. I think, it's valid to disagree, because with this Luck or Patamon, you'll be able to search your security early, or having already known your security, being able to search and get the exact piece you need. You can get a 2-colored card with this and be able to then recover 1, which could then potentially proc, Agile Ace, the Inherit. I think it's a good card. But I rather potentially get 2 pieces, dig into my deck. I'd personally rather have the Luxmon, but Patamon's a good card. It's just not where I'm going with this deck. So that is the deck list. It's one of my favorite decks in the game. Unfortunately, in the format, and you're going to see this just going forward, is the threat of D-Digivolve. Many decks in the format have D-Digivolve or minus DP. I know Harimon has minus DP, which this Diminimon can protect against D-Digivolve or minus DP. So it becomes really bad. Is this a deck that I'd be taking to a tournament? Unfortunately not at this time, just because minus DP and D-Digivolve just breaks the deck. I think it's a formidable deck when it gets going, but D-Digivolve and minus DP are just killers to the deck. Decks are very fast these days. But yeah, those are the kryptonites to this deck, D-Digivolve and minus DP. But I think this is still a formidable deck that when it gets going, it's very, very tough to break. So yeah, that's the deck profile. If you have any questions, let me know. And then I know there's other lists with Revelation of Light, Purple Karis. Again, those are valid. This is just the way I like to play. Having a lot of aces is detrimental, especially in the D-Digivolve and minus DP formats. And you can argue, you can run like Shikuamon, right? Being able to taunt. The new Huddy Shikuamon is very good, and you could maybe go into Mastamon instead of aces, which is valid, and it may be found that it is stronger, but this is how I like to play. So yeah, that's it.